Hi everyone, I'm Lorna Sikorsky of LDS Associates, and for those of you who have not participated in any of our professional education programs or perhaps one of our test drives or Meet the Author programs, I am the owner of LDS Associates and the director of our online trainer center. We have delivered many programs over the years for level training to prepare you to be an accented speech consultant for advanced ESL adults. And also we market many products, things for testing and for instruction, as well as other things that I distribute that also are very advantageous for advanced ESL adults. So what I'd like to do today, and I may turn off the video cam shortly just so that you can focus on the information that's on the screen. I would like to today introduce you to the Level 1 series in a brief, very informal overview because we have our next series coming up in May, and we are taking registrations for that very shortly, and the time window for that is limited. So I hope that you will make note of the contact information, and you can reach us to ask for further information or hopefully act on your request. So let me turn off my webcam right now and let you focus on the screen as we walk through. Basically, Level 1 is our premier, if you will, highly well-received survey of all things for accented speech. It literally does go through all the basic ABCs, and the series is comprised of 7 web titles that are in 3 content themes in 5 live online sessions, much as you see it taking place today. That would be the way in which we would move forward with your training. So let's walk through the major themes. The first one obviously is accent assessment. If you can't get a good handle on the presenting communication abilities and their oral skills at the start, you're going to have limited success in instruction. That's always the case though, isn't it? This particular segment theme is 4.5 hours of live web instruction and some homework that is comprised of video sample review. Let's see what those titles are. Module 1 gets into the vowels. Module 2 gets into intonation because that is, I think, a very significant element. And Module 3 gets into the consonants, the 3 big chunks of skill sets that everyone needs to master oral communication in any language. Plus, we have 24/7 access via a password for attendees to practice scoring. And I think you have easily a minimum of 3 hours of practicum there with a variety of accents, and it showcases, frankly, our proficiency in oral English communication, or the POEC assessment battery, because you are going to be practice scoring over our shoulders with score sheets for all the various elements in that analysis sector. Well, the next theme is instructional content. Once you know where the deficits are, you've got to be able to teach it, to make improvements in their oral skills. So we have 4 hours of live web instruction for all of you, and then again a homework assignment, but slightly different. So what is this? Well, the building blocks. That's going to be your nuts and bolts. What do I need to teach? The second component, frankly, just as important, if not more so, is program design options. How much can I fit into this program? And in that module, what we look at is if I teach this to an individual, to a small group, to a mid-sized group, if I teach it online versus live, what is realistic to put into that program? Very important component. Plus, there is some post-web homework, and that is a template, an activity template, I call it, whereby you plug in all the variables for small group, mid-sized group, large group, and try to establish what the costs are going to be so that you can figure out what you should charge. Also a very important thing. And this can be reviewed by me if you like. It is optional, but I think you would be smart to have someone take a look at it. And that module 6 moves very nicely into our marketing webinar. Again, it is 2 hours, and it's all about, in a very practical sense, putting your best foot forward. Lots of tidbits of information to get you moving, especially for proposing your particular program to potential buyers. And there is again a piece of homework involved in this called the benefits and features, so that you can easily distinguish the two elements, benefits and features, because that's very important for selling to anyone, and that you are all set to write your PR and marketing information. Well, the Level 1 series is $4.95. As I mentioned earlier, it is a series. This is going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays, and here are the April and May and June dates. As I also said, it's hard to find a window that people are completely free, but we've tried to build in a hole in the middle of this. Probably you've already anticipated that, looking at what happens to Memorial Day there. And we've blocked off that particular week or so and pushed back into June, and I think that's going to be great. So what is included in this? Well, it's 10.5 hours of live webs, and the content I've already told you. These are specific date-driven schedules, so that means, well, you know the dates. They're 2 hours, plannable at weekly interview, twice a week essentially. The time slot is 1 to 3 p.m. Pacific. That's where I am, and you can figure out what your time slot is and decide if this is going to work for you. What do you get? Well, comprehensive note-taking slides, references, miscellaneous handouts on a per web basis. These roll out to you approximately 2 days ahead to allow you enough time to print these out, and this is all done right online, so very easy to print handouts that are in PDF form. You also, as I mentioned, in addition to the live, offline, you have 3.5 hours of solo video practice for the assessment skills. Plus, there are a minimum of two really, hours of solo and reviewed lesson planning and marketing homework projects that you can work on. And if you decide to participate actively in that by allowing me to give you some review comments, I do that via email on a personal basis. Now, what happens, since this is date driven, if you are unable to make a session or suddenly have problems with your particular internet, let's say, you have immediate access to the playback. It takes usually 24 hours for me to upload that, but sometimes less, and I know who has not been able to make it, and those individuals will have access to the playback. I think there's a little bit of or a better chance of getting a community feedback because everyone is moving through this program together. Plus, many of you may already be familiar with the MEEC Complete series. We've sold it for many years now, but it continually evolves and updates and freshens up. It's a combination of workbook material and the all-important audio practice for your clients. But we have in the last couple of years had a downloadable edition, and that is included in your fees for this class. In addition, we are also including the Proficiency in Oral English Communication, POEC, Screening Edition, which is also downloadable. Many of you found that to be extremely useful, perhaps for placement testing, for situations where your instruction doesn't warrant a full-blown assessment. So many of you were saying that's a good starting place for you. And so we have begun to include that as opposed to the full assessment battery. And at the point at which you are ready for that, then we say, okay, this is your decision to make. We highly recommend the full assessment battery, and we take 30% off of that if you are ready to see individual or small group clients where you're really wanting to get a definitive starting point to match against their post-level improvements. In addition to that, you become a preferred trainer or PT at LDS Associates. That means that by virtue of finishing level 1, you get a 5% discount on nearly all the products in our online store, which includes things that you might be getting for your clients, which hopefully you find the MEEC as valuable for your clients' practice in between your sessions. So here's just a simple example. That 5% translates to nearly a $10 reduction in the price of that for your clients. So those discounts do add up, especially when many of our PTs have multiple clients at the same time, or just say, I think, I might have at least 2 in the next month or so. Well, we have bulk ordering rates, if you will, and those discounts add on top of that. It's also a discount that applies to future continuing education programs because we have level 2 and many other specifically themed programs. More important to a lot of you is the ability to use our logo on your websites or information, because learners can go to our site and look at a geographic locator and decide whether or not they want to go with somebody local or somebody online. Lots of different things they can choose, and your marketing is very important there. Well, this May-June series, once again, 5 series dates. It's essentially Tuesdays and Thursdays. The sessions are 2 hours. 1 to 3 Pacific. These are the dates. Just to put a fine point on it, we're starting on a Thursday, then it's Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, and then the final session, June 6th, is a Tuesday. This is the fee. This is when the registrations are due. This deadline is hard and fast. We have a minimum number that are required for me to do this significant program at this rate, because compared to the normal series on-call kind of pick from a menu of dates, the way in which this is a win-win for both you and for me is that we have enough going through at the same time, and you're the beneficiaries of our price reductions in that. So it's a two-step process. You need to reserve your online place in the room. You need to pay via an online invoice, and those links are probably attached to the PR that you have received, whether it's an e-zine. You will probably see those two bits of information in PDF form, or you can simply call or email us and suggest what you need. The payment is easy via credit card through a very secure link. That's never been a problem. So this is it. I'll put my webcam up again to say thanks for bearing with me in this quick review. I hope you will strongly consider it. Our reviews have been uniformly excellent no matter what the event is that we have here at LDS and Associates, and that is something I'm extremely proud of. But as I say, I think one of the biggest strong suits is that I want programs that are practical, that get right down to the real tangible elements and give you lots of real-world vignettes to back that up. So I look forward to seeing you in this soon. Hope you can make it, but as I say, if you can't miss or you have to miss a particular date or maybe several, it is still a win-win for you. Our reviews of the recordings have also been quite good. So take care, and I hope you will join us in May.